People responding and loving it. I don't care what song I'm playing. I'm going to be enjoying myself because that's the magic. It's the sharing of this art, and the enjoyment, and it is amazing the energy an audience can give you, and that you can give back to it's this symbiotic relationship that's so powerful. And I like that whole whatever song I'm playing philosophy. I try to take that in the studio, of course, as well. What songs are your favorite to work on? Whatever song I'm working on, for this day we're working on this song. It's everything, that song. And the thing is, in the arts, you don't know what song is going to take off, or be big or be. So every song, you got to put your all into every song, because it could be just some song you think is, oh, yeah, it's just this silly little thing. Or I half-assed the mix on it. It's not going to go anywhere. Whatever. You don't ever want to have that attitude, because tomorrow it could be the biggest hit in the world. So every song, has its place in the sun when we're working on it. It's got to be the focus to make the best it can possibly be.
The best version of what it's going to be. Yes, sir.
Right.
And I love it when people, back to touching one more time on that deal about, the people getting excited. We used to have a thing in Abel Kane. We'd laugh because, you have all these people like we showed up, man, like the flock of crows. I mean, we were like the rock jam is fixing to happen.
Right.
And we'd show up and we looked like a rough motley crew for sure. And they would be like, oh, what's it like being such and such? And we'd say, well, when we really found our sound, when we really found our purpose, that's when we realized, we ended up with it, having to battle with addiction. And they were like, oh, yeah, it happens. Yeah. And said, yeah, we're addicted. All three of us have the same addiction. We're addicted to the feeling of giving them the feeling. And that's where we flipped the script on it. And that's what it was. It was, we're addicted to we work for the people. We're addicted to the feeling of giving them that feeling,
Right.
And when you can roll up and do it like that, we're addicted to making people scream. We're addicted to making them so happy and excited,
That's got to be a good feeling, man, when you are the one that's responsible for that whole attitude of these folks, that they're just feeling good inside, and you're thinking to yourself, I was the one that produced that. I was the one that did that.
Right. Or if you're on stage actually performing it, or if you wrote it, or if you produced it, any of those things, it's an amazing feeling. And it's crazy. It's such like an endorphin rush or whatever, dopamine hit, whatever you want to call it, performing on stage and having the crowd. And we used to call it the bubble, when the band and the audience become one, and it's almost like, it's almost like you're indistinguishable from the audience. It's like you're all in this together. And sometimes it's hard to get in that bubble. That bubble isn't always there easily. You've got to kind of capture this magic, lightning in a bottle type thing. But yeah, there's almost nothing like it. And I think that's one of the reasons that so many touring musicians have had problems with substances and stuff like that, is that, boy, when you're touring, and I've only done a little bit of that. When you're touring, you're I don't mean the addictions. I mean only a little bit of touring, but like 22 hours out of the day, you're just hurry up and wait, and then you got a sound check at some point in the afternoon that breaks up your day, so that you don't have a chance to do anything else, and then you're just sitting around backstage waiting for that moment. So I can see how, and it's hard. I'm kind of a type A person, so the times I did stuff like that, went on the road, trying to just kill the whole day. You got to you got to try to not let the stage, that endorphin rush and that joy of being on stage lead to a horrible depression when you're not on stage.
It will once that runs its course.
Yeah,
If you've hit the pro level as an indie artist, typically what you're going to probably do, let's say your day starts at 5 in the morning, and you're rolling somewhere. You're either heading to an airport or you're heading to wherever the vehicles are, right? And
yeah,
and you've got your team and you got your crew because you've reached the pro level. So you've got a sound crew, you've got a merch crew, and you've got the band, and any additional supportive, people you may have. So they may be a total of 10 people, and y'all are rolling out. So you take off and you go do that. You usually have stops for radio, so you're going to have to pop
sure.
into a radio. So you're doing that and then you're bouncing out. Somebody's also keeping track of all this. So you go and you do that. Then you haul butt to the venue. You get there for a meet and greet. Then you pivot and do sound check, say it's somewhere between 1 p.m. and 3 o'clock. And then you get out of there. You typically have something else that you do that's broadcast related, either taping or another last minute, like live remote, trying to gin up, get more people. Then you're going to pivot, go and try to get cleaned up. It's going to be off site, so you've got to go to the hotel to do that. You get cleaned up. You got wheel call at, say, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Everybody's back down there ready to go. You come as an opener. You're going to come out. You're going to get ready. You're going to do your thing. Then after that, you can't disrupt the headliner. So after that, that's where you got to hang out and hold on. Then once that's done, everybody meets at the merch table, and that can last 4 to 5 hours, signing stuff for
Right.
everyone, taking pictures with everyone, and then you're back in the ride and you're writing thank you notes to everybody who's pivotal to helping that be successful that you just wrapped. You're writing thank you cards, whatever it is that you're doing that's going to go to somebody old school. And then you finally get to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got to turn right around and do the whole
Do it
thing
all
again.
again. Well,
Yeah.
you were in a much more established. Yeah, I was with a singer songwriter thing doing a little. So we didn't have all that media stuff going on. There wasn't a whole lot going on our days in between the gigs, and we didn't quite get to that level. But that sounds like a pretty packed schedule.
It's slammed. We had runs. We're in 26 days. Where I was in 47 cities. I mean, you
Holy
got
cow.
yeah. I was doing promos with radio stations and everything. So it's possible. One day, I think we were on 5 airplanes. You just get yeah. You just get stuff like that, and a lot of the indie artists don't realize it's one thing to be regional, but when you break out and you break out on the bigger level, most of the big events, they're going to set it up for you, but they're going to expect you to do press. And once you start getting to
Right.
the point where you have people saying, I need you here for this. I need you doing liners over here. I need you over here taping for this. Oh, now we need you over here for this deal with People Magazine. We need somebody over here for this deal with Guitar Player, whatever. And you start getting those people jumping in and pulling on you, and all of a sudden you got to hire somebody just to pull back against the other people pulling, so you don't get pulled
Right.
all to pieces. Yep.
Yeah.
When do you sleep?
You don't, and that's why a lot of people actually, and we were joking earlier, but in real talk, that's why a lot of people get addiction when they're out doing that, is because you have such a buildup before a big show of the endorphins and everything that he was talking about, and then once it's done, it's easy to go into the 5 or with those who are not playing constant. It's like once every 3 weeks or something. You have this big, huge buildup for this big, huge event, and once it's over, you will sink into a depression. It's like you just blew all this energy out, all this good positive excitement and everything, and then it's just like the echo after. And it can be rough. So that's one thing that happens, and then the other thing that happens is when people are running those kind of schedules, they got to be able to go to sleep instantly, and most people can't, coming from those type of charged environments. So they end up getting prescribed something to go to sleep. Then they got to be prescribed something to wake up because they didn't have enough time to be asleep. So they have to be
Right.
prescribed something to wake up. And then they got to be prescribed something to offset the combination of the other two things that they've already been prescribed. And that starts working. I didn't ever myself have to battle that, but I got so close I could see where it would be a thing. And I had so many people around me get worn down by it. You just
Yeah.
get worn down. And when you're on, when you show up, you've always got to be the party person. You always got to be the party guy or girl. You got to show up and have light shining off of you because that's what they paid to see. They
Even
didn't
though
pay
you're
to see.
dead tired.
Yeah, they didn't pay to see the guy that just got sad news from home. They didn't pay to see the guy who hasn't slept in 4 days. They didn't pay to see the guy with 103 fever. They don't mean to not care, but they didn't pay for that. They paid for the shining, walk in the door and boom, let's go. That's what they paid. That's what they want.
Right. And
And
that's
that's what
ultimately
and that's what they
that's the
deserve.
responsibility. That's what you signed up for, That's what you
Yep.
provide. That's the product, you know.
So you mentioned Brian Schartzer. He is with Beverly Jenkins. How long have you been working with Beverly and the folks over at BGJ?
Really only just 3 4 months. And I don't typically work with Beverly directly a ton. Um, she will do some co-productions, like she'll give it suggestions and stuff, and she's been great. I mean, she's amazing. She's doing so much with this promotion and everything. But yeah, a few months is all. But I've been so blown away by how much work she's putting in and how well she networks and how big this network is, bigger than I even thought. It's been a great experience. And it was really through Brian, because Brian had befriended her online a few years ago and just been talking to her, wasn't even doing original music. He was doing outlaw covers and stuff primarily. And just somehow they hit it off, online, just talking about music and stuff like that. So when she kind of got this going, Brian, it was right about the time that Brian was starting to think he was wanting to do some original stuff. And so we started collaborating on that stuff and did real well. Got a top 10 single on our first time out, first song that he released. Got another one. I've got a song at number 30 right now on the Cashbox charts. Country is My Roots, which I had a blast writing with him, and I love the song. Proud of the lyrics and everything. And yeah, it's just been a great experience. And then Mark Bott, big guy, who's also got a song on the Cashbox charts. I've done 4 or 5 songs with him. I think he found me through Brian. I think Brian knew him. Yeah, actually, it is through Brian. But Brian's also, on the team with Beverly and everybody, and it's just been great. And Beverly's introduced me to a couple other artists.
Well, it only gets better. I've known of Beverly for several years. Worked briefly with her a few years ago, and me and Rhino, we just really been pretty thick in there with her and Leon Everett for the last couple months or so.
Something like that.
We welcomed them into the tribe, and she is 100% sharing, supporting everything that we're doing. And hopefully by the time we broadcast this, I've got good news of something we're working on right now that could be big through the independent artists. You kind of mentioned part of that a while ago. But again, that's due to the fact that Beverly introduced me to someone who is going to make this happen for us.
Awesome.
So, like right now, like I said, right now I can't say anything about it, but hopefully by the time this interview airs, uh, it will already be out. And if it is, and people are definitely going to know about it.
Okay.
This is what Tribe is about, though. I mean, you got so many people that they think they're an island, they think they're alone, and they're doing something remarkable and unique. And what they're doing and the way that they're doing it is remarkable, and it's unique in the sense that it's their way of doing it. But the cool thing is when we're all doing it for the same purpose, the same glorious purpose, the
Yeah.
righteous reason. When we're doing that, the tribe comes into play, and we start connecting all those islands. And it doesn't take long to make a continent.
Yeah. I was going to say, it seems like the growth rate of what you all are doing, Beverly, and what you guys are doing is kind of insane. Like seems off the charts. Like it just seems like there are so many connections being made just from watching it, even from afar, and just watching the activity. It's amazing what y'all are, accomplishing. I can just feel the growth
In
in
tribe, you have so many incredible artists. You have so many incredible artists in tribe, from the Texas country, from Fort Worth to South Texas kind of vibe, right? To West Texas, the cowboy, kind of the old school retro cowboy vibes. And then you go jump and you've got the platinum Grammy winner on the Bob Marley project, Leroy Romans. Then you jump north and you've got Manny Cabo from The Voice, the only four-chair turn. You jump, you've got A Villain, who is engineer for Royce da 5'9" and Eminem up in Heaven Studios. Then you jump back coming your way, and we've got all the indies in the mix, as well as the heavy country artists. We've got legends from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that are tribe, top 40, multi-platinum, internationally known country artists coming back into the fold to now be seen. They're coming to be seen as tribe. They've been there, but now they're
right.
coming in, right? And then we got all these awesome, I call them all pups, and it doesn't matter what the age group is. I just call them the pups. They're the indies who are ferocious, and they're coming out and they're putting in the work and they're doing it. If people have no idea how intense and how crazy it is just maintaining some kind of organization and order to it, because it's growing as fast as it wants to grow, not as fast as we could imagine. And those are two different things.
And
Right.
it is definitely growing faster than I would have ever imagined for 6 months. I mean, literally, we've been doing it 6 months now, and if you would have told me at Christmas, what we'd be doing right now, I'd be like, that sounds like it would be kind of cool. Sounds like it'd be very cool, but it is a reality now. And I'm like, what it does though, when you get someone like he said, Leroy Romans, or you get Leon Everett, or you get T. Graham Brown, or you get any of these folks, it makes you hungrier to keep bringing those folks back, but at the same time, still bringing those independent artists in there and making it one huge family. I mean, I'm excited about the possibilities. I'm looking at my calendar for the next month of interviews, and the names are, I mean, we've still got top-notch names every week, and it's just growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, it's very exciting to be a part of it and to be, working with Beverly and working with uh, the artists that are on the roster, and I'm just excited for it to keep building and growing. What's so great is I've worked with major labels. It was years ago, but they don't even know how to break an artist or anything, and there is none of that natural momentum like you guys are building, because people get excited about what you're doing. They can feel the authenticity. They can feel the passion, the drive. You don't get anything like that for the major labels. The major labels are all just about, what's in it for us, and they don't.
Self-preservation. A lot of individual executives are they're scared. I mean, they're literally, because they know they have unlimited up at bats and still somehow find a way to strike out. If they hit
Right.
a home run should be automatic, you would think, if you get to swing enough. But it's amazing. People hear about the hits that came off of, let's just say it's Rockstar Records, this massive, big, let's just say a fictitious major label. Well, they have 3 people in the top 40. Yeah, but you don't know about the 70 whose careers were wiped completely out. They took all the work that they'd done, all their Schedule A when they came in, signed it all over. The label got control of it. The label tanked, botched the marketing, whatever. And these people got stuck on the hook and are locked down under a 5-year contract or a 10-year contract they'll never get out from under. They can't get their Schedule A back, so they lost everything. And they wrecked these careers. They wrecked for every one that actually breaks. There's probably 20 that just got wrecked, and people that
Right.
never got over it.
I mean, yeah, the labels will sign you just because you're similar to another artist they're trying to break, and maybe you're doing pretty well. They'll sign you just to shelf you. You don't even know it. You think they'll tell you they're all excited about your project and this and that. And I've run into artists that's happened to. They're like, oh, it turns out they only signed me to get me out of the way. They paid for a few sessions, and then they act like, we're just not into it. Yeah, and then but meanwhile, like you said, you've signed over your life to them. You're a prisoner, and now you just can't do anything, and your career's ruined. It's terrifying. And I've got a client now who's actually, considering signing to a label, and he's probably not going to do it.
Only if you have a bunch of escape clauses. This has to happen by this time, or all my stuff comes back to me and I get to bounce. You have to have all these progress, and if they don't want, they go, well, we're not going to do that then. Well, it's like, that's cool. It doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. It just means I'm not going to do it with you. So we got to empower these folks, because they have this ability to sell you on the idea that they are your last shot. And this is your one and only shot. And if you don't jump on this right now, it'll never come again. Well, it's the old Bible, the old country Bible saying. They say, when the devil knows he can't stop you, all he can do is distract you. And that's what they'll do. When they can't take you out, he'll lock you down over here so you can't keep doing the good work.
Right.
So don't let it. Got to have escape clauses all over the place. Red line the crap out of that thing.
Yeah. Yep. But that's why these like indie labels are the way to go. If you're gonna be affiliated with a label, be with a label that's kind of bottom up, like what you guys are doing, meaning it's kind of the people in the audience and everything kind of driving the bus a little bit, instead of these some faceless label executive, from on high declaring what's going to happen to this artist and all that. The indie labels are much more boots on the ground and just in touch with what people are responding to, and less, less greed and control. And so, I think what you guys are doing, and all this, there's this huge groundswell of independent stuff now, because people are realizing, the major labels are pretty much not a good deal for anybody. And
you know what excites me? One thing, I didn't mean to cut you off, but on that deal right there, just what you said, there's this huge groundswell. One of the things that is so sexy to me right now is I'm starting to watch these big organic talent buyers that are outside of the Rock Nation and all that stuff, that have a kind of a cabal lockdown on a lot of the old stadium structures and things. A lot of these fairs and festivals out there are going with only indie artists now. I'm seeing that more and more and more.
Oh, wow.
I'm seeing that more and more and more, because they're realizing I can spend all this money on so and so, and I can give him, you know, 100 grand to come out and play, and my ticket sales don't really fluctuate to match that. Versus, I get some wicked, super talented people who are regional, and or maybe some people who have a lot of social media following. Their
Yeah.
music's well known. They'll bring those people in, and they'll have, you know, plus or minus, you know, 4 or 5 grand on the people in the crowd. But when you're dealing with a 30 or 40,000, deal, people are really, the cool thing about Woodstock was before these people became international. You know, Woodstock was so many of the people that you had on the Woodstock event weren't 100% a household name, you know?
Right. You know what? I never even really thought about that because, of
And then
course,
they went on, and every single one of them went on to become internationally known.
yeah,
You know,
that's, I mean, actually, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that these household names were not household names at that time. So that's
and
fascinating. That's
that
really
festival,
interesting.
yeah, festival lost all of its money. It lost everything. They thought it was the most horrible, and it became the greatest live music festival of all time. You know,
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
here we are 56 years later, and we're still talking about it as being one of the greatest festivals of all time. So that, I mean, there's proof right there. How many other festivals have you heard besides maybe Live Aid or Farm Aid that you're still talking about 40 years later?
Yep. It was
Right.
because back then you had like he was saying, the musicians driving the bus. That was so legit because you had people involved like Little Richard, right? And we've talked on this show before about Little Richard. People just thought of him as Good Golly Miss Molly or Long Tall Sally or whatever, and
Oh, Rudy.
those were cute songs, but that man changed music in the Western culture. He changed in Europe, America, North America. He changed the music business forever, and he never got the true acknowledgement. Did you know? You know, he had all these background singers, and you know he had an incredible guitar player, and he was always looking for bands to farm up and give them a shot when he was touring and traveling, and he had two bands from the UK that he hired. They were broke; they couldn't even pay for their own dinner, so he paid for it when they had their meeting, and he took them on the road with him. You know, the first one was the Beatles.
Oh, really? Holy cow!
Yeah, and then
I think I've heard of them.
and then the second one was the Rolling Stones.
I never heard of
Then
them.
then his background is he had two background singers. One was called Otis Redding that he pushed
Oh,
out, and another one was called James Brown, right?
hey,
And then
I had
then
no
his
idea.
then his guitar player, he wanted to give him a push. He had to play his guitar upside down. His name was Jimi Hendrix because he was
Oh my God!
left-handed. So these are the people, and then you have a bunch of people like him that got together on a festival, and the musicians were driving the bus, and you had all these incredible talented people that came out, from Janis Joplin. I mean, everybody who was anybody, they came out, and they had regional following, but they didn't have global dominance like they went on to afterwards. And so that's what that's about. And that's kind of a weird little way. We're like a pirate ship, just like that. I mean, we're all for one and one for all. And we're all pushing up everybody. Everybody's pushing
Yeah,
each other. We're hooked to each other, and we're all pushing each other up. That's what
yeah,
tribe
and
is.
I think, and yeah, like I said, it's been amazing because I can just feel it. You can just feel the excitement and the uh what's the word, and the
Momentum.
engagement and everything. Just it's just going up and up and up.
Hmm.
And then that becomes in itself, contagious, which is great. So it's a self-feeding, a self-feeding loop there. It's just exploding. So I love what y'all are doing. It's very exciting to be a part of. And
We're in it now.
I'm sorry, what?
You're in it now. There's no way out. I don't know if he
It's like
told you,
it's like the mafia. I
but
can't even get out
Oh my
now.
God, I can't believe you said that. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're in the syndicate now. There's only one way out, and I don't think we
Yeah.
want that.
yeah.
I mean, being on the inside and being active with it every day like I am, I mean, there's times I go to bed at night and I'm like, am I really doing this? This is crazy. But it is. I mean, it's a reality. It's definitely happening.
What? Tell him what you say when you talk to me. Tell E what you say when you talking to me about it like that.
Uh, I guess I'm lost right now.
Well, no, it's like no. You'll go. Hey, man, can you believe we're doing blah 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 blah? You remember when we have those kind of talks?
Well, it was like I said, 6 months ago, I can't believe that we're actually, 30 interviews in right now, and we've had some of the people that we've had on here, the people that we are going to have on here. We've got folks like you joining us every day. It's just overwhelming. And I mean, literally, I would have never thought about this 6 months or a year ago. I would have been like, whatever. I mean, this radio station didn't get started till December, so we're literally 6 months in
Really?
this. Yes, sir. So we're literally 6 months on the radio side of it and doing our interviews. Now, Rhino's been working on the whole tribe experience, the whole tribe vibe for a while. Not really. How long have you been working on that, dude?
About 30 years before it
There you
had a
go.
name. Yeah.
So I probably didn't answer your question the way you wanted me to. So I need you to refresh.
I was just sharing because it's funny and it's awesome. And this is what, to my point earlier, it makes me excited. You'll be going, bro, can you believe we're doing blah, 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 blah. And I catch myself. I'm like, man, okay, it's cool. We're doing it, whatever. I told
Or,
you.
or I'll send him a text. I'm like, dude, you're never gonna guess who's coming on the show. I got one for him that yesterday we did one, and he really wanted this guy. He was really excited when he found out that Richard Young from the Kentucky Headhunters were coming on. I
Oh,
think
wow.
he was giddy about that.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them now. I've been working for a while, but they've been busy and haven't been able to give me a date. They're country legends from the '70s. Uh, you know, let your love flow is all I got to say about that one. I mean, they are some huge legends in the country world too. I'm just
Yep.
excited about looking at what we've got coming ahead and what is ahead that I don't even know about yet.
Right. And if you could be doing something, if you're doing somewhere every day, or just like, can you believe I get to do this?
I literally
That's
do that every night, man. When I go
dream.
to
Yeah.
lay down in bed, I'm like, I cannot believe that I'm really spearheading this radio show to do this, and we're going all over the world with this radio show, bringing these entertainers to everybody. I've got to pinch myself sometimes.
I
Yeah,
get jaded.
that-
I've been jaded over time, and so I don't mean to be jaded. It's just like once you switch from breathing air to water, you're just used to swimming. And I was like, I'm used to it, and then I forget that I should be excited. I forget that I should enjoy this. I just don't think like that anymore. So when I get to see my fuel doesn't come from me, my charge, my Tesla coil arcing and sparking, that comes when I get to see you guys get excited about something. And then I'm ready to start table flipping then. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
let's go do
You
this.
must be excited every day then, because there's not a day that goes by that I'm not trying to hook something else up for this radio show. And like I said earlier, we've got a big thing that's we're working on right now, and if that comes through, I think you're going to see a lot more Tribe Nation radio around.
Yep. It ain't
Well,
gonna suck.
Do I,
I
bud?
I love it all. I'm really excited. You guys are just, you're definitely doing all the right things, and this is what the music industry needs right now, is guys like you doing what you're doing and elevating these indie artists, and doing it from a good place, and from the right, have your hearts in the right place. And yeah, I'm just excited to be a part of it. I love it. Um, I got to actually jump on in a session here in a few minutes, but I need to wrap it up pretty quick. But
We're about to the end.
yeah, but I definitely want to come out to some of these events. And yeah, we'll share contact information, me and Rhino, and I'm really pumped about that. Music Supervisor, great site. I've been so busy. I've been neglecting kind of maintaining my little presence on there for
If
a
we
while.
can, if we can get you in Memphis in October for everything that you've got going, all the incredible stuff, the beautiful stuff you've got going. If we can get you there in October, you're going to see a whole new part of the multiverse open up for you. And
All right.
I'm telling you, you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll be meeting everybody and the crop of young artists coming in. We typically have 1,500 bands on average that submit. We typically pick a top 50 and we'll roll them through our boot camp, and we go through over everything from branding to the production side. You'll get to meet a bunch of other producers that'll be there, and y'all can network. The songwriting side, how to do your merch, how to set it up, how to run it like a business that makes money.
Social media?
Booking, social media. I mean, it's everything from the beginning to in whatever stage you're in. There's something for you, and I can't tell you how many of these. They by nature, most frontmen or most artists are a little bit got some peacock DNA in them, and they'll come walking in thinking I'm going to come to this, but I pretty much know all this already, and I can't
Right.
tell you how many times they've just been waylaid by the end of it. And that's
Yeah.
how the spirit moves you, man. You come in here, you think you got all the tricks. Nah. You fixing to sit, I'll be there. You'll have like Danny Jones from the Chitlin Circuit, monster drummer and producer from the Sun Records late, days and all that stuff, through every other Soul Stax studios, all those historic studios. Then you got Dale Penner from Nickelback and Loverboy, Ruth McCartney, Paul's daughter. I mean, Vicki Hamilton from Geffen Records and the original manager of Guns N' Roses. I mean, you got all these people coming in from everywhere, and we all come in on our own dime. We come in, we're investing in the indie artist. And
Right.
if they're smart, they'll make time to come and see what we're doing for them. And if they're not, that's cool. They'll hear about it later,
Right. Right. Well, awesome. Onward and upward, man.
Well, we're
I'd
going
like to get, like
and
to
you said
get him
that's
in there.
October, right?
Yeah, October. We're going to be in Memphis. We're going to be down there rocking the King's Palace, baby. BB King's old house. Rum
All
Boogie.
right.
And that'll be about the time we bring you back on the show, because we try to get the guests come back about every 90 days, kind of refresh, regroup, and just show your presence and let these younger folks know that your tribe 100% and you're supporting everything we're doing. And look at him pumping his chest like he's
Yes.
Hulk Hogan over there.
Right.
Man,
Brother.
Erik, give us your website, how to get in contact with you. Throw your address, your phone number out there. Throw that out.
Yeah.
Kind of rustle you up a little business.
My website's a little dismal because I pay no attention to it, because I'm at least fortunate enough to stay very busy by word of mouth and established clientele. But it is eclipsestudios.net. Eclipsestudios.net. And it works. It's just I don't do much with it. But my phone number is 309-287-4676. So if you're interested in talking about some production or recording, I mean, I'll do stuff where I record bands where I'm just more straight engineering, and I'll offer production tips and stuff like that. But I make sure I do it without an ego. I ultimately want the artist to be thrilled with what comes out. So that is my main goal. But I always try to steer things, first of all, in a productive direction. I'm always about, let's get to this next step, and I feel like getting momentum going in the studio is one of the most important things. It's very easy to stall out, to stall out. Oh, we just spent 2 hours trying to come up with the snare drum sound. Now I don't even know what the heck song we were working on, or I've lost all my enthusiasm. When things are moving forward at all times, you keep that level of adrenaline and excitement going, and that's what I try to do here at the studio. And that's what I love about you guys, because you've got momentum and this kinetic energy that I feel coming from this everything you guys are doing. And I try to do the same thing in the studio. It's all about kinetic energy. Keep it moving, and things just work themselves out. As long as you
give us your phone number one more time.
It is 309-287-4676, and that's my cell phone. You can text me.
Go check it out at eclipsestudios.net, and you are in Bloomington, Illinois, right?
Technically Normal, Illinois, but it's Twin Cities, so it's kind of the same thing, but it's Normal, Illinois.
Normal, Illinois. Eric, thank you so much for being with us today, man. I appreciate you, and as we always do when we close, welcome to the tribe, my man.
Thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure talking to both of you. Look forward to talking again.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see you in about 3 months, man. Take care of yourself.
You too.